It's the final few seconds before the lights go out, and the race to the podium begins. You know this battle will be won off the track as well as on it. You've studied your tactics, anticipated every move like a grandmaster. You've researched and analysed, modified and fine-tuned to perfection your instincts to give you an edge over your rivals. Your drivers focused, your team ready. The championship in the balance. First past the checkered flag, the goal. Epic victory or ultimate failure. There is only a heartbeat between them.
Extreme Rival 6 on the 4th of October, not next Friday, but the Friday after. It's Terror here, and once again, we are having one or two technical problems. I was in the qualifying session, I'm no longer in the qualifying session, and I think I might need another invite if somebody is able to give me one. I apologize, I can't get in through any other means, so I will wait for the invite, and in the meantime, welcome you all to this SLR Tier 1 race. It is Hungary, excuse me, today. I was about to say Spa, but Spa's next week. It is Hungary today, and we will do our best to keep across what happens in qualifying. Qualifying is underway. Thank you, Mr. Both OceanChief and Dead Pixel, inviting me to the session. So with crossed fingers, there we go. 14 minutes in the session to go. Thimo will be joining us. It's going to be a tiny bit late this afternoon, although Timo's never late. He arrives precisely when he means to, much like certain wizards. But he will be here very soon indeed. As you can see, it is a wet qualifying session. If you had your eyes on chat, you'll know that. Wimpy telling us, giving us the intelligence there. It is a wet qualifying and a dry race. So we have a few cars out on track trying to scout the conditions. In fact, everybody but two cars are out on track. We have a Ferrari 1-2 at the moment. Danny has gone fastest in the Ferrari, and Mr. Milosh, who was P1, is now P2 in the second Ferrari. Gap of what, 8/10 or so between the two of them at the moment. So we will see exactly how the rest of this session goes. With Light Cruiser going up to P2. That's a Haas getting well out of the way. That must be push, I think. Yes, it is. NJJ, either something happened to him or he is not qualifying for whatever reason. So here is Mr. Hugos, who is one of the two reserves today. Dead Pixel is the other reserve. He was full-time, but he gave up his full-time seat last week to be a reserve. So, oh, Hugo's going right across the curb there. That's a little bit too much curb for Mr. Bugos, and does manage to get away with it without hitting the wall. So 12 minutes to go in this session. A little bit more info about the Extreme Rivals 6 tournament. We have it, as I said, next Friday. Oh, that's really wide, Hugo's. Not next Friday, but the Friday after, 2 weeks' time. And it is from dusk till dawn. So we've got Spa at dusk, we've got Singapore at night, and then we've got Bahrain to finish us off at dawn. So that will be... Oh, the Hugos just way too eager on the throttle at the moment. Whether it's too much LMP1, but certainly Hugo's really struggling. He goes 3 seconds behind Danny, who's got the fastest time at the moment.
That's pretty embarrassing.
Hey, Mr. Thimo.
No, I was on the wrong commentator's booth.
Oh, I see. Okay, I did look for you there, but yeah, I guess that was a few minutes ago. So I figured we'd go into the proper one for the sake of interviews and everything else.
Yeah, I have like 2 FPS and freezes, so I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, I don't know why that would be. I crashed earlier on, but it seems to be okay now. No frame rate issues, so don't know. Hopefully that resolves itself. So Bailey Thompson fastest in the racing point, so he goes into the 1 minute 29, first person to do so.
I don't know, my PC is committing.
Maybe try rejoining. That might fix it. Triton says, Bugos, the order is to calm down. Yep, afraid so. He goes with a very scrappy first lap indeed. I don't know if he's going to go for another one. In fact, he is going to go for another one. So let's follow on along with this one. I'm sure this will be better, he says, as he goes very wide on the exit of the last corner. Can't really use too much of the curbs in these conditions. Into turn 1, that looked very neat and tidy. And run down to turn 2. Go on board with him. You can run a little bit deep in turn 2, it's not such a problem. As long as you get the throttle down on the exit without losing the back end. Oh no. This is interesting to watch, certainly. He got that left-hander right. This is where he ran very wide on his last quick lap. Ooh, again, back end just threatening to step out there. It didn't quite. Through the chicane he goes again, opposite lock on the exit of the chicane. I caught that one though. The real Senna at Monaco in the wet driving experience here with Hugo's. Opposite lock basically every corner. Into the right-hander he goes. That was much better. Astro Boys has gone. Astro Boys, of course, who sat out last week after collecting himself penalty points. He is racing today. The Mercedes has put it on the front row for the time being. Hugo's though around the last corner. This has been a much better lap than the last one, certainly. And across the line he goes, and he goes P5 on a 1 minute 31.1. Here is Speedy on a lap. Hopefully Thimo's managing to fix his issues. Don't know what those issues might be. Hopefully it's not Thimo's computer committing some sort of seppuku. There is Speedy though, going through the last few corners. Did stream... Why? Oh no, that's bad. What is going on? Are we offline? Oh, okay. What happened there? Yeah, it died for me as well. Don't know what happened. Speedy crosses the line, 1 minute 30.5 from him. So he goes into the top 5. That was a very good lap from Bailey though. 29.6.
Hello, I might need an invite.
Hello.
I had to force restart my PC.
Ah, okay. I will invite you then. Apologies for the black screen, folks. Let's figure out how to invite Mr. Thimo. Where is Mr. Thimo? I don't see Mr. Thimo online at the moment.
Yeah,
Invite
Steam
to
is
lobby.
loading up.
Okay, so you should have an invite now. Let me know if you don't. Hopefully it goes through when you're offline. As Speedy slows down to let what I assume is... No, it's Popo through, in fact. Popo on a fast one. He goes through the chicane. We have the rev bug for Popo, unfortunately. Did you get that invite?
I think I did not.
Okay.
Oh, I did.
Oh, you did. Okay, that's good. So here is Astro Boys then. The number 24 Mercedes as Dead Pixel jumps out of his way. It's not Dead Pixel, it's Speedy in the Toro Rosso. Astro Boy's around the last couple of corners and he's going to start his flying lap now. Welcome to everyone in chat. Quinton's Producties, hi. Where is Jensen? I don't believe he's racing today, unfortunately. I think he said he was out somewhere.
He's playing soccer, I think.
Playing
because
soccer.
It's Saturday evening. Normally he plays soccer. I think
Okay.
last week he still raced because the enemy team just surrendered. I don't know.
Okay. Well, he's off enjoying himself playing soccer, unfortunately. So no Jensen today. I'm gonna miss Jensen's presence on the grid. We got some fast boys up front though. We got Bailey, Thompson, and Astro Boys, and Speedy as well, likely to be fighting it out for pole in this one. Here is one of those fast boys. Astro Boys is a 10th.5 up in the first sector.
Got another black screen. This is annoying, mildly.
Oh dear, yeah. That's bad news. I don't know. Is it a graphics thing?
I don't know.
Hopefully it's not the graphics card. Have you played any other games recently?
Yesterday. But I mean,
oh, Astro Boys off the road, spinning in the fast complex, and that's the end of that lap.
What? Oh my god. Steam is a little interesting sometimes.
Yep, it certainly is.
Okay, I'll give it another try this time.
Okay, you still have an invite, right? You still have the means to get in.
No, I don't anymore because.
Okay. Alright, so black screen once again, folks. Apologies. Thimo is now online? Question mark? Yes.
I should, yeah.
Invite
I don't know what my PC is
lobby.
doing. It's very interesting.
As Speedy goes fastest of all on a 1 minute 29.0. Good lap from Speedy. In these conditions.
It's raining. I was confused.
Yeah. Yeah, we know how much Speedy likes these conditions.
Yeah. I thought, is this not rain or anything?
Oh, it's like Cruiser. It's the back end steps out of the left-hander at the end of the lap. Round the last corner he goes. He's going to cross the line and see if he can improve on his 29.9. He can. It's a very good lap from Light Cruiser. 29.4. So he goes second.
I think I may have done it.
Hey, he has done it.
I have done it. It was all because my PC, because I started the game by accepting the invite instead of starting the game and then accepting.
Ah, okay. Yeah, it's weird about that sometimes.
Now I am in and I have got more than 0 FPS.
That is
which I'm
good
very happy
news.
about.
So we have a dry race, so it's going to be free tyre choice for everyone. But obviously you don't... Oh, with Astro Boys. Again, just very, very deep into that right-hander.
Oh, Pixel, yeah.
Yeah, lots of drivers struggling out there at the moment. Astro Boys, oh. And he looks like he is abandoning this lap, so...
How about the weather conditions in the race?
it is dry in the race.
Okay,
So
that's cool.
free tyre choice for everyone, so no worries about qualifying on the tyre that you started on.
I assume there will be a lot of a lot of medium runners then.
Yep, I would have thought so. Yeah, it's one of those races where you can do something a little bit weird. You can do a 2-stop, and it's pretty fast, but a lot of the fast boys have said that if you want to be right at the front, you want to qualify on the mediums. If you can be at the front, qualifying on the mediums, and then you do a 1-stop medium to hard, because that is by far the safest way of making sure you get to the end in one piece.
Yep, I've done the 2-stop in Tier 2, and I mean it didn't work out great for me, and I wasn't stuck behind Wimpy. I wasn't stuck behind a lot of people, but it still kind of didn't give me the result I hoped for.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a fine strategy. It's just that I think I came off worse than the non-stoppers. Might just be down to pace, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what people do. I imagine most will go for a 1-stop, given the free tyre choice, given the fact that you don't really sacrifice grid position at all to put the mediums on in the first stint.
I would be surprised if anyone actually went for the softs, to be honest. I think they'll just look at this and be like, well, mediums, yeehaw.
Yeah.
Astro on his last out lap now, as well as Popo.
Yeah.
He's on a lap right now. Danny, Bailey.
Hugo's has just started one. Bailey is on one. He abandoned his last one.
Okay, this will be his quick lap.
Yeah, 1 minute to go in the session, so this will be the last one for these guys. Bailey Thompson, as Kirst retires from P10, so he's going to be starting towards the back of the grid. He did a pretty good lap in the first few minutes of the session, but didn't manage to improve on that, unfortunately. It's Bailey now going through the middle sector. Nice and smooth through there. In fact, has he turned his hybrid off? Is he pushing at the moment?
He has turned it off.
Yeah, it looks like he has.
He's also down on his time, so it might just be that he abandoned this lap, maybe invalidated it, and he'll just come across the line. It will be close, but I think he'll do 20 seconds should be enough.
The back end steps out on Hugo's and through the right-hander at the end of the lap.
Oh, Bailey's now turned his hybrid up, and he'll just get another lap, and I think, yeah, he's on a new one, and let's see what he can do.
Nice, so Bailey does manage to start another lap. We're going to follow Hugo's through to the end of this lap. We got Popo in P5, Icewind has crossed the line, and he's gone P9 on 5-lap-old Inters. Hugo's crosses the line, good lap from Hugo's, P3 for him. Danny crosses the line, he's P5, he does manage to improve a little bit, but only, in fact no, he did improve, but it was an invalid lap, so he obviously invalidated somewhere. Now Astro Boys is driven straight into the wall, so that's the end of his session.
Well, that is unfortunate.
And here is Bailey. Astro Boys obviously invalidated that last lap by the looks of things, so he's not going to be starting at the front. It's going to be a little bit of a battle for him to get through. Hello Kutender in chat, good to see you. Good to see everyone in chat. Welcome along. As we watch Bailey come through towards the end of this lap. I missed what the middle split was.
It was, I think sector 1, I think he might be up by like half a second, but on the other hand it looked like a bit of a graphic bug because it said half a second in sector 1, and I do not trust that, and I was tapped out, so I don't know.
He's going to cross the line, and he's going to go fastest of all. Wow, what a good lap.
Wow, that's an amazing lap, yeah.
Bailey in the 28s, so he's going to be starting on pole. And that, I think, is our grid, because everyone else who's still in the session is in the pits. So Bailey on pole with a last second lap. And then Speedy Light Cruiser. Hugo's putting it in P4. Good drive from him. And then Danico, Popo Gamer is the third row. And then Astro Boys push Icewind. And Pretorius rounds out the top 10.
Yeah, well, that was quite impressive. I've got to say that I saw the first sector of Bailey's lap on board with him, and he had a bit of traction issues. So like he got sideways out of corners and stuff. He just slipped because I mean wet conditions. It just happens. But I didn't think it would be particularly quick, so I was kind of surprised. But he's edged out Speedy by a quarter of a second, and that will give him the optimal conditions for, or yeah, the optimal starting position obviously for the race. And I think it's very important for Bailey, especially because as we have seen in the races where he didn't start at the front, like Germany and Monaco, namely he kind of struggled. Or was it Germany? I think so. I think he had some trouble in Germany.
He did. Yeah.
So he struggled coming through the field. His pace is very hard to fight against, but if he has to overtake people, then he might get in trouble. So it was very important that he hooked that lap up, and in the rain, it's even a bit harder. Very great performance.
Yeah.
I wonder if Speedy will be able to do anything about it. This is a track where, like Hungary, yeah, like Singapore, where there's a lot of slow corners, I would say, and like medium, and Speedy tends to roast his tires there because he is driving on a pad, and if you want to be quick on a pad, it's apparently, I mean, I don't have experience, but I'm going to believe Speedy on this. It's very hard or nearly impossible to not cook your front tires. And that in EGL, I mean, you probably saw it in the tournament in Hungary. I mean, you saw it directly out of you, and it meant that you went on to win the race because he just fell off in pace as his front tires started to complain and not do their work properly.
Yeah, absolutely right. He's going to be on the mediums though, and we've got basically everybody starting. Well, we have literally everybody starting on either the mediums or the hards.
I told you.
Yeah, you did. So the mediums aren't too bad with the tire temps. You can control them pretty easily. The softs are a little bit of a nightmare, and you don't last very long on the softs at all. So certainly looks like everyone's going to be opting for the one stop in this one, which is no great surprise. As we have TipsyBob in the chat. He's finished his work in the garden. Good to have you along, Mr. Tipsy.
Mr. T and Mr. T. Said Mr. T number 3.
Yep, everyone's Mr. T.
Yeah, we can even add that Benz and Triton.
And Triton as well, yeah.
I think I pointed that out in EGL in the face of a very good brain lag. Sounds like something I would randomly point out while there's a race going on track.
Yeah, I don't have anyone to make me tea, unfortunately. Tipsy does, but I don't. So, oh yeah, I guess the pun. I didn't actually mean the pun, but it worked out, I guess.
So it's my fault, is what you're saying? I am at a fault. Okay. Speedy and Bailey.
What is going on here?
That was a bit close for comfort. I watched that. Like they were almost colliding, and then the game took over and put both of them inside each other on the race line. So I don't know. I thought they were about to collide, and the game thought, well, yes, but actually, no.
Yeah, there were a bunch of cars in the midfield as well that almost hit each other in the very slow left-hander. They're running 2x2 there for some reason. We're getting ready now then, as hopefully we get some lights. It looks like we are going to get some lights. There they are. 5 lights are on in Hungary, and they are out. We are underway. Looked like a pretty good start from Bailey. We're going to see exactly how good it was. Speedy's got the jump on him. Speedy's got the inside for the first corner. Light Cruiser has a look as well, but Light Cruiser backs right out of it, and Speedy looks like he's got the move done into turn 1. So very good start from Speedy. We've got the 2 McLarens, Popo and Hugo's, running 4th and 5th as well. Everyone cleanly through for the time being as we look towards the back of the field. But a very good start from Speedy. That's exactly the place he wants to be in for the first few laps. He's managed to jump Bailey off the line, and he's going to see if he can get himself a gap on those medium tyres, as was that Miloš going way off track, but managed to save it. So good stuff from everyone in the Tier 1 field. A clean start in Hungary.
Yeah, great start from Popo game, and I must say, Hugo's absolute damage limitation. I saw his getaway, his launch was terrible. I went on board with him, and I thought, okay, he's going to get swamped. He only let Popo through, so I mean that's kind of the best he could have hoped for after this horrible start up front. Great start from
Oh, as
Speedy.
Milos goes down the inside and spins, he sent one on push. I don't think he intended to do it. I think it was evasive action, but off he goes.
You, Sebastian Vettel.
Oh no, Kurt.
Yeah, great impersonation, but I'm afraid that doesn't make you 4-time champion.
Maybe
yes,
maybe it makes you Division 4 champion, but not 4-time champion.
Not even. I think that's the problem. He didn't even win in China. I mean, his game crashed, but he didn't even win in China. Anyway, up front, Speedy is 0.3 of a second clear. Popo's still on the back of Light Cruiser, and Popo looks very pacey today. I think kind of decent qualifying, but he's on the back of Light Cruiser and he wants to fight.
Yep, certainly does. Lap 2, and yeah, he's putting all sorts of pressure on that Williams in front of him. Hugo's is on the hard tyres, so he's managed to get himself a little bit of a gap to his teammate, who's got Astro Boys all over the back of him as well, but we'll see whether Popo can manage to get anything done here on Light Cruiser as they come towards the end of lap 2. The top two, though, are making a little bit of a break. The gap is, I would say, close to 2 seconds now between Bailey and Light Cruiser up front. Have to wait for the intervals to sort themselves out to figure out exactly what the gap is.
Push already, that's not good. The right-hander, he got that one, is pretty mean, I have to say, from experience. It doesn't even gain you time, it's just a little too early turn in, and then you get a warning, but 3 warnings in the span of 2 laps is really not what you want.
Nope, certainly isn't. Yeah, if you're getting your first penalty at the end of lap 2, that is very early to be getting a penalty. You've got 33 more laps to do, and you've already put yourself in a little bit of a tough situation there. Meanwhile, these battles, so we've got the front two who are, I wouldn't say battling, I would say sort of cruising around one after the other at the moment. Speedy and Bailey. Then we've got Light Cruiser and Popo about 2 seconds behind them. And then another 2 seconds behind, we've got Hugo's, and the train behind Hugo's is pretty substantial. It's Astro Boys, Icewind, Pretorius, Danny, Push, and probably Bascodinho as well on the back of that. Hugo's on the hard tyres trying to get himself an advantage in the first part of the race so he can be fast in the second part of the race.
Hell yeah, I was muted. Popo got Bailey got a very good run on Speedy there.
Oh, okay. Is he still
I don't know
there?
how long I was muted. Yeah, and I made a very fine joke, and you just talked over me because I was muted. Like I said something. They are not fighting at the front. They are just cruising behind each other, which is the average fight in Hungary. But now a fight in Hungary means Bailey Thompson are down the inside in turn 1. Down on Speedy. Speedy does the switchback move. Arava would be proud. DRS open for Bailey. Still, he claimed the inside line. Can Speedy hang it round the outside? You can get a lot of speed and a very good run there. They are still side by side through turn 3. Yikes. Run up towards turn 4, and I'm almost certain Speedy will have to yield. Will he? He will.
Wow.
That's a reasonable thing to do. Great pass by Bailey.
Fantastic racing. Astro Boys on Hugo's as well, side by side through the left-hander, still side by side through the right-hander, and a little bit of a, was that a side pod glitch or something like that? I think Astro Boys has got the move done though, as they go into the chicane.
Side by side in the chicane, Hugo's getting pushed on the curb a bit. The nice one behind them. Looks like he wants to maybe, have a little look.
Yep.
Maybe take Hugo's.
There's a whole bunch of cars that are just behind them because these guys are holding each other up very badly. Astro Boys having to hold on here. He's going to have to...
Icewind!
No! Icewind into the back of Hugo's. Hugo's broke very early there for that right-hander. You saw him.
Is through. Danny goes through.
Yep,
Icewind. And now even Push. No! Push gets off track and he'll be overtaken by Bascodinho. No, he won't. But yeah, Icewind just kind of misjudged the braking with 2 cars in front of him there. Very unlucky, but I didn't see any carbon fiber pieces flying off his Alpha front wing, so I think he might be fine. Speedy is very close to Bailey, but obviously he wasn't close enough for a pass. And JJ's finally passed OceanChief in the meantime.
Yeah, that DRS, and something we didn't mention as well. Popo's passed Light Cruiser. That happened last lap.
Oh wow!
So that happened. That happened a little while ago.
That guy's
So
on a charge.
Yeah, he is.
2
and he's,
seconds to Speedy.
Yep, only 2 seconds behind Speedy. So he's going to be hoping that the front two hold each other up a little bit more. Astro Boys has managed to wriggle himself clear of Hugo's, and he's going to be making a push now towards Light Cruiser in that 4th place. But it's more than a 3-second gap because these guys have been fighting so hard. And Hugo's, meanwhile, has Pretorius all over the back of him on those medium tyres. Hugo's struggling on the hard tyres at the beginning of the race, as you would expect.
Tipsy in the chat shit talking me, of course. Excuse me, I pulled off one overtake and it was on Wimpy, so it counts twice.
It was an excellent overtake. It was down the inside into turn 1.
Yeah, very special. And lots of things Wimpy could have done there. Lots of legal things he could have done there, like, I don't know, move in the braking zones. Because that's very legal. Curse, meanwhile, on the back of Pixel and Ocean, I've gotta say.
No DRS for Hugo's here. Sorry, Pretorius is going to have a look down the inside into turn 1. Hugo's managing to brake late enough, though. Sorry, continue.
Oh, someone goes off in the background. That's Danico,
Danny.
and he rejoins behind push and alongside Basket in Yo. He spun or half spun on traction. What's it with Ferrari spinning? I mean, I knew the game was kind of realistic, but this, wow. And the other Ferrari is the one I wanted to talk about. Cursed kinda not as close to or he's not closing in as quickly as I thought, and that's gotta be a warning, and it's death! Your Curse is in the wall, and that's a full front wing gone.
Oh dear.
That was not nice to watch. I didn't know if it was on broadcast, but
It wasn't, no, I'm afraid. I was
Okay.
watching the Hugo's Pretorius battle when all of that happened.
yeah, he cut turn 4 basically and got absolutely loose. Front end into the wall, and because Curse thinks he got away with that being not being on stream, I'm going to shadow play capture this. And as well as his death, because he just crashed out of the Grand Prix, and I'm very sure that was not on purpose.
And there's the big retirement, yeah. Great, so Hugo's struggling now to keep Pretorius behind him. He's got his old Enduro teammate out of the race, unfortunately, Milos Martika, who is the first retirement here in Hungary. Speedy and Bailey, though, right together once again. I think they were side by side. I missed that the first time pass, but again, Speedy having to yield to Bailey. Bailey not giving that lead up very readily at all. Pretorius looks like he's passed Hugo's as well. They're still side by side heading up to the left-hander. Pretorius runs very, very wide, giving Hugo's lots of space there, and I think he will get the move done unless Hugo's can do the switch back, but there's no space for it. So Pretorius up to P6, Hugo's down to P7. Astro Boys, meanwhile, not really making any headway on those in front of him. 3.5 seconds now, the gap between him and Light Cruiser.
Yeah, Hugo's kind of falling down the order. Who's on Hearts? I know.
Hugo's is on hard,
Hearts. That might just be the reason he's doing well for that. He'll have to re-overtake the others, though. So I don't know if that was the greatest strategy. I mean, you kind of get to hold up people on your first stint, but then you kind of get held up by others on the second stint. I don't know if it's worth the trade-off.
Yeah, and it means,
like...
and if you're trying to keep people behind you, that holds you up as well. Because you're not able to drive the proper lines, you're driving defensive lines, you're side by side through corners, that sort of thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of, like, I mean, going through the field kind of in a...
Speedy has passed Bailey. Speedy has passed Bailey for the lead. Sorry, I keep missing the battle up front. Needs to be paying more attention to that. But Speedy I think, did get through this time into turn 1. So Speedy leads this race once again.
Hugo's almost uphook himself into Pretorius there, which is why I would so loud.
So Icewind now following the back of Hugo's. He's going to be the next driver to have a go at the hard tyres on the McLaren. Icewind, we thought about it there down the inside into the chicane, but not close enough. Not this time at least. Icewind does have himself a penalty as well. He's got 3 seconds worth.
Going through the field like in either direction kind of causes a bit of like friction metaphorically. I clearly know what I'm talking about, and I mean, it holds you up no matter which direction you go, which is why I don't quite understand Yugos's choice. Maybe he's just like anti-mainstream hipster. I don't know. Like, I don't quite understand it.
Yeah,
But it doesn't look too bad for now.
yeah, it's a slightly weird one. I think he'll probably be alright. He'll be fast in the second half of the race, which is as important as the first half of the race, and maybe more important if there's a safety car. That's where that strategy could well pay off, because he's going to be on the mediums then after that. And of course, with the gaps neutralised.
If it comes too early, then he is done for,
then he's not
because
going
he
to be able
can't
to
go on another set of hards while everyone else can. So it's like, I mean, there's two phases, and depending on in which phase you are, it's dangerous or it's safe for you.
Yeah, absolutely right. So Speedy and Bailey up front. Popo, we've mentioned a couple of times, but we should mention again, having a fantastic race in third in the McLaren. Light Cruiser following behind about a second off him, and then Astro Boys, who, as I said before, not really making any headway, 3.5 seconds behind Light Cruiser. Then a 4-second gap to Pretorius as Icewind decides that he doesn't like the layout of the track. He's going to make his own track on the outside of that right-hander. Lost a little bit of time to Hugo's doing that though, so might not have been the best thing. Now up front again, Bailey again not quite close enough this time. He's a little bit low on battery as Bailey, so not able to get that move done. Icewind defending from Push here as they head into turn one. Push goes to the outside. Icewind covering the inside. He's going to try and hang it all the way around the outside. Icewind does give him enough room on the outside, and I think Push is going to have this move done. So Push into P8. Maybe still side by side. As they come around turn 3, and there Push does get the move done, manages to close the door. So Push up to P8, very nicely done from him.
Yeah, Icewind seems like he's struggling a little bit this race. Normally, kinda a bit high up the order, but on the other hand, it's a train, and the differences are very marginal. So, I mean, your form of course shifts from race to race. So a little dip in form can cause that, like instead of being P5, being P9, like in Icewind's case. But it might be P10 soon, because Bascadinho looks very quick behind him as well.
Yep, and Danny and Slash as well. Slash is a few seconds off, but they're both on the hard tyres, so again, doing the same strategy that Hugo's is, so it might be that those two are going to be moving up the order come the end of the race. It's Icewind again, not quite close enough this time to have a look at Push. A bit further up the grid, Popo and Light Cruiser now running together once again. We saw Popo pass Light Cruiser early on in the race, but wasn't ever really able to get away, and now Light Cruiser is right on the back. Here they are, these two, into the chicane. As Speedy gets himself 3 seconds, we should make a note of that, because that is potentially a big deal.
Oh, especially because Bailey does not have a single warning.
Oh, good stuff from Bailey then.
Clean boy, clean.
So a 3-second gap at the moment at the front, in terms of penalties at least.
And then he goes past Bascadinho. But only just, and Slash is past NJJ, I think. I don't think that was like that before. Pixel gets himself another penalty.
Yeah, 3 seconds for Hugo's as well. And welcome to everyone in chat. We got Tipsy, we got Thomas, we got Nethluke, and we got S-Proxy as well. Welcome, S-Proxy, one of the original EGL crew, back to cheer us on. Hope you're enjoying this broadcast. We got some pretty good racing up front in the early laps. Speedy and Bailey both providing us with entertainment.
It kind of doesn't look like it's going to die down very soon, because they are keeping it within a second, and it's always one gets the move done, and then they are ahead for a bit, the other one collects himself and goes for another attack, they switch position and repeat it. So, I mean, looks like a good fight. Now Speedy very desperate to break free, obviously, with the 3-second time penalty that Bailey doesn't have.
Yep, absolutely right. Bailey just keeping it clean for the moment. He's not really managed to get any more battery in that racing point, but he might not need it. Light Cruiser gets 3 seconds, so again, that's potentially meaningful. Light Cruiser running P4. Bailey pits from P2, so obviously thinking that the undercut might be a thing for him to do. Manages to get it slowed down without getting himself a penalty. Now, we're going to see what tyres Bailey is going to put on. I imagine it'll be the hard tyres.
I would be very surprised if it was another set of mediums or even the softs. It is hard tires.
It is indeed the hard tyres. So where's he going to come out? That's the question. Is he going to come out in traffic? That looks like traffic to me.
I think it will be
Icewind pitted.
Baskedinho or... Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, Baskedinho.
Oh, that's awful traffic. That's
Exactly.
really terrible timing for Bailey.
Let's hope he doesn't do anything impatient now.
So,
it would be a real shame.
So Icewind pitted as well, and he got himself a 5-second penalty. Icewind, though, has gone onto the mediums, so he is 2-stopping without any doubt at all, because he started on the mediums and he's gone onto the mediums, so he needs to run a different tyre compound.
Maybe Bailey might be fine sticking around. Nah, he is definitely totally quicker than Baskedinho on his 20, yeah, sure, 12 lap old.
His 12 lap old.
It's 12 lap old. His 12 lap old tires.
Oh, what's happened? Has MJJ?
I
No, okay, I didn't see exactly what that was.
I didn't know either. So, oh, Bailey attacking Baskedinho. The 12 laps matter. Obviously, Baskedinho locks up a bit, and now he'll probably just tap the brakes. And okay, he doesn't have it to the pits now. Bailey will stay behind Danico here and hope that he can get past him. Open DRS. Baskedinho maybe with another try. I doubt it. Would be clever to not do it. And Bailey didn't get close to Danico. That's interesting. I don't know. I don't quite know, but that means he'll be held up for another lap. And if Speedy and wait, let me quickly have a look at the 2-0 Discord, and it indeed has Danico and Speedy in a call with each other. So it might actually be that Danico is telling Speedy, "Yo, I've got Bailey behind me, and he is not getting past for now." Maybe into the hairpin. We saw Bailey having a look, or at least I saw Bailey having a look at Baskedinho there, but no, it's not a real overtaking zone, and it's better that he didn't. So Speedy is probably aware of whatever is going on, whatever funny games are going on between Danny and Bailey.
Yeah,
Maybe he stretches out the stint just for that.
This is such bad news for Bailey. He's losing so much time here behind Danny.
No. You can just see the overspeed and like that feels bad, man. I feel bad for him.
And I think there's more bad news for Bailey. I think there's more bad news for Bailey, which is that Danny's going to get DRS here from push in front of him.
Oh my!
So it's not going to be easy to overtake at all. Speedy is in the pit lane. We're going to keep our eyes on the pit lane as well. There is Speedy about to exit the pit lane. Is he in front of these two? He is.
Oh, just about.
Maybe.
And you can tell that matches, and now Danico breaks himself, and that maybe releases that. No, it doesn't. Oh my god, no, Bailey's not through. What a shame for him now. Later braking on the outside, just a car width of space there, and he hangs it round there. They make a little bit of contact, and finally Danico yields. He has to even go off track. Bailey finally makes it through. And you can just tell he would have been quicker. The undercut would have worked, but he lost the time and about Hinter, sure. Behind Baskedinho and Danico, Forsinja Fahrzeug.
So Speedy has now got a 2-lap tyre advantage on Bailey. He did come out in front of that little gaggle. But the issue for Speedy, of course, is that he has a 3-second penalty as well. So he needs 3 seconds on Bailey before the end of the race. Bailey is going to be trying everything he can to keep that Toro Rosso within DRS range.
At least he got a first warning for, yeah, Bailey got a first warning when he...
Oh, Astro Boy's 5 seconds. We saw that. He was too fast into the pit lane.
That's very unfortunate.
So Hugo's leads now on the hard tyres as Popo exits the pits. Hugo's only 4 seconds though in front of Speedy. Speedy already made his stop, of course. And yeah, Hugo's at the moment is coming out quite some way behind everyone. Probably somewhere around where Pretorius and Icewind are at the moment, in P9 and 10.
Cruiser right on the back of Popo, yeah. Speedy kinda has a problem. He also has got one warning more than the 3 he got his first penalty for, so it's not really looking good for him, and it might actually be the deciding factor, the track limits here at the Hungaroring. And I mean, we know how it goes on this track. It's kind of bad news that there's a lot of corners, especially in the last sector. Or the last sector is very short, so like in the second sector, where running wide onto the curb can help you get a very good run, because of course you can carry more speed on the apex if you know you will go wider than conventionally at the exit of the corner. And that gains you some time, but sometimes the game is like, yeah, nah, you're not doing that, and then it slaps you. With a penalty. But sometimes it's just like, yeah, the track limits are just loose guidelines. Just you know, do whatever you want.
Yeah,
and, then you're
you
fine.
never quite know, do you? It's one of those things that the more time you have with the game specifically, the more familiar you get with it, and you can sort of understand what you can and can't do. But certainly, it's not very consistent. But at the moment, Bailey managing to keep that Toro Rosso in view. I was watching on board with Bailey a lap or so ago. Speedy is trying very hard. He's going very deep into corners and sliding a lot in that Toro Rosso. So he's certainly going to be taking it out of his tyres driving like that, and he's not really able to get away from Bailey for the time being.
Yeah, I don't know what could happen for Speedy that would make the difference, because the second stint of course will be a longer one, with hard tyres having a lot more durability than the previous medium tyres, and the longer the stint, the more the wear and the higher the tyre temps for Speedy usually. So he's, I mean, the time is clearly running against him. He has to break loose in some way, shape or form. I mean, Bailey's in a very comfortable position here. He can just drive behind Speedy. He knows he doesn't have to over push the limit. He can, oh wow, that was a slide and a half. Nice catch from Bailey. He knows he can just manage the gap to Speedy, stay in the DRS, get carried, like get the tow, and by the end he would be victorious. I can imagine he'll want to win on track as well, but he technically doesn't have to for now. Oh, Speedy! Wow, very sideways, and that might actually be an opportunity for Bailey. No, even though the speed at which he was getting closer to Speedy was very
He's so close now, though. He's so close now, and the DRS straight is coming up, so all Bailey has to do is stick here. Hugo's is still 2 seconds up the road, and as Tipsy says in chat, he might play a role in this yet, but certainly for the time being, Bailey is going to have a little bit more speed down the straight, although he's lost a little bit more time, and he doesn't have the battery either, so Bailey not able to attack this time. Further back, though, Danico defending from Popo on the much harder or much older tyres, and he's not able to do that. Popo around the outside very cleanly into P4 on the road.
And Light Cruiser sitting behind him, he definitely, like, one arm on the steering wheel, one arm in the popcorn bag, because he enjoys watching that fight, I imagine. And now Popo, I mean, that's not enjoyable. He just had a huge lag, and now it kind of sends him off track. Will he rejoin? Light Cruiser, does he take his chance? Popcorn gone ahead of Popo. P5, but Popo still on the inside. I did not see that coming. I was running on board with Light Cruiser. I thought he had the move done, but no, he didn't. Popo now making a gap, and Slash LP spun out of turn 4.
Oh dear, yeah. So Slash, yeah, that's the left-hander, turn 4. So Slash unfortunately are side by side again. Popo made another mistake, and Light Cruiser around the outside of the right-hander, and I think he's got the move done here, and he has. So Popo, unfortunately, with that lag, and then a couple of mistakes subsequently, as Danny pits.
Dives. Danny Cope. And so does Hugo, so he'll not be a factor in Speedy versus Bailey.
Yep.
Where will Hugos come out to pursue the other drivers on the quicker tires? Mediums are strapped on, and it's go for him. Exits the pits, and he is just behind Pretorius.
Yep.
That didn't work out by like a second or two.
Yeah, unfortunate for Hugo, as he's going to have to do a lot of hard work now to get past these two, because their tyres are slightly worse than Hugo's tyres, but not by a huge amount. So he is going to have to pass both Icewind and Pretorius on track, and that's not going to be an easy thing to do.
Slash got Dead Pixel is gone. Oh no, it's the other Red Bull. He spun out of turn 1 on traction, I imagine, because he's he faced the wrong way there, and it looks like he still got his end plate, so he got it, like, he probably caught the car in time. It still cost, like, I don't know, 8 seconds. It goes super wide here.
So one thing we should mention, Speedy has broken DRS up front.
Oh wow.
So
maybe
with 15 laps to go, he's got 3 seconds disadvantage in terms of penalties, but he has broken the DRS, which is a very big deal. Bailey is going to have to try for all he's worth to keep that Toro Rosso in 3 seconds, but he doesn't have the benefit of DRS anymore. That could be a very big factor towards the end of this race.
I will try to get Milos to play a little Ted Kravitz.
Oh, an ascend from Hugo's up the inside into turn 1. And he makes the move stick on Pretorius. That was very nicely done. He made the dive up the inside as Pretorius tries to go back around the outside again. No grip out there though, so Hugos gets one of those two positions. He needs to make haste in passing these guys, because he is on much better tyres and can go a lot more quickly. Icewind gets himself 3 more seconds as well.
Does Hugos have penalties? Where will he end up?
I think he has one.
He's got one exactly from lap 11 and one warning since Icewind has got multiple penalties. And by multiple, I mean two.
At least 2.
Penalty.
Oh, on the 5, yeah.
Astro sitting on 2 warnings, one of them from this lap, and a 5-second time penalty. So Astro definitely also still catchable for Hugos if he gets it all right in the second stint. Bailey back in the DRS.
Yep.
In the meantime, I dropped a message. Okay, so Kirst telling me that Speedy thinks his tire temps are fine. So far, no issue there.
Someone who's not fine though is Icewind. He's about to be overtaken by Hugos here down the main straight. And Hugos down the inside into turn 1. So he gets those 2 moves done pretty efficiently, as it turns out, and now he can chase after Astro Boys on what are much better tyres. He's got 7 seconds to make up, but he's got a lot of time to do it. He's got 14 laps, so possibly looking at a good result here, Hugo's in the second half of the race.
And having a little virtual chat with the race director told me that Speedy has not picked up a warning since lap 12, which is the one lap after he got his penalty, and Bailey Thompson is sitting on 2 warnings now.
Okay.
So, I mean, if I was Bailey here, I would probably fall down the order and finish as 15th, because I'm not that good of a driver. But if we just take the hard part, I would probably just have a front row seat watching Speedy drive, and then just like, dude, that's my podium, that's my win, top step off the podium, and take that and not risk anything. But sometimes, I mean, as a race driver, it's sometimes hard to not push, and Pretorius is past Icewind.
Yeah, Icewind let him through. I don't know exactly what happened there, but I think Icewind's tyres struggling a little bit. Icewind has another pit stop to make, of course.
Danny and Push are running side by side through turn 1. I think Danny has got the move done on his recovery. Driving though now, he There was a bit of side pod bumping. Are they fine? Yes, they are. Danny goes through. P9.
Nicely done.
5 seconds to Icewind, and with the penalties, it should be doable.
Yep, I would have thought. Well, Icewind has to pit again, of course.
Yeah.
He's 2 stopping, so Danny, I think, will get that position eventually. Up front, though, Bailey right on the back of Speedy. As you mentioned, the penalty situation is a really interesting one. Speedy has 1 penalty and 1 warning. Bailey just has the 2 warnings, so if he gets another warning for track extending or corner cutting, then these two will be on the same number of penalties. Bailey, no battery though, so not going to be able to make his charge this time.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at is, as a race driver, it is sometimes hard to just like intentionally not push to not get warnings, because it kind of throws you out of the comfort zone. I experience that a lot. If I just have to bring it home and not push at all, then I make more mistakes. It's like Sebastian Vettel back then when he was still in Red Bull, and he would always try to get the fastest lap on the last lap, while Red Bull was like, oh, play it safe. But if you try to play it safe, sometimes that's what makes you make mistakes. So I think Bailey will still go at a reasonable pace, and he will definitely be in risk of a 3rd warning. He's hanging by a thread here, might have to overtake Speedy.
Yeah, it's one of those things when you're following behind another car as well. You're so eager not to let him get away. You don't want that DRS to be broken. So you just got to feel like you've got to push sometimes, or maybe you don't have to. And that can lead to you just taking a little bit too much curb, or running a little bit too wide on the exit of a corner, getting yourself that 3-second penalty that he's really desperate to avoid.
Yeah. Also, I mean, there's on this track corners like turn 4, where it's just about threading the needle, finding the perfect balance between not turning in too early, which gives you a corner cut, or not turning in too late, which gives you an extend, so you can't even really take it easy through that corner. You have to nail that one. It's a risk, and if you intentionally took it easy to make sure you don't get a warning, then you lose a lot of time. So
yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah. It's far from over, as well as the battle between NJJ and OceanChief, which I kind of followed on the timing tower. They've swapped positions a lot, and they're fighting for P12. I mean, it's important because if you are in P12, you get priority to collect people who die in the top 10 as a result of OceanChief's curse.
Yeah, you got to respect the curse, because OceanChief has got /LP all over the back of him now. And Slash going to be trying everything he can to get past here. We're going to run a little bit wide in the last corner. OceanChief, of course, will also have DRS. Slash has got a full battery, though. We'll see if we can get anything done here down the straight. OceanChief, though, also with DRS. And nothing doing for Slash this time.
So, yellow button, maybe one of the Red Bulls. There was someone slow on the side of the track. Okay, that was Pixel, who is unfortunately a lap down, and I guess that also caused the yellow flags.
Yeah, I think he was letting everyone through. I think that's what that was.
He likes his sim racing handlings more than his F1 handlings, by the looks of it. Picked up pace quickly in F3, but he does not in F1, I'm afraid.
Yep, certainly struggling. The 2 Red Bulls running right at the back. Only Milosh, of course, is retired behind them at the moment. Astro Boys with 3 seconds, so that I think is his first penalty. And now the battle between NJJ and OceanChief again swap places. The gap between Hugo's and Astro Boys has come right down. 2.5 seconds it was, or it is rather. It was up at nearly 5. Hugo's now with the same number of penalties as Astro Boys, so lots of time for him to make that gap up. Bailey, meanwhile,
yellow it again.
Just cruising. That's MJ.
Oh, it is bad. Never mind. It's push.
Oh yeah, push has spun. I think at that's the left-hander after the chicane, wasn't it?
Turn 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quick maths.
So bad luck for push as OceanChief
Ocean.
gets 3 seconds.
Oh, Ocean! No, he's down! He's dead! He died in turn 4!
Oh dear.
Oh no! And he spins again! Oh.
And he's missing, I think, a lot of front wing as well. Or maybe he's not.
And
Maybe that was
now
somebody else's
there's
front
the
wing.
leaders! Oh, there's the leaders!
Ooh.
Let Bailey through, please! Thank you, okay. In before Ocean wipes up Bailey.
That would have been interesting.
Force of nature!
But no, nothing happening there. So Bailey...
And Pixel. But yeah, you know, I mean, it's Pixel at this point.
Yeah, and Pixel unfortunately retires, so we've lost Dead Pixel.
Yeah, Icewood strategy really does not look like it is about to work out. Oh wait.
No, he's lost way too much time. He's going to come out, I think, behind push. And he's going to be struggling, I think, to score any points in this race, unfortunately, Icewind.
Yeah, you think he's not going to the end? I mean, right, 21 laps is insanity.
Well, I mean, he can't go to the end. He gets
Oh, he
disqualified
can't,
if he
yeah.
does. He's not
Yeah, so
used,
he'll definitely put this up, I imagine. Like 7 laps sounds right for the softs.
Yeah. Hugo's
So
in
one
DRS
off
now on Astro Boys. Meanwhile, Popo having a look up the inside of Light Cruiser into turn 1. A little bit of a send. Light Cruiser hanging it around the outside. Popo with the DRS heading up towards turn 2. Light Cruiser with the inside line though, and I think he's going to be able to cover this off. Is Light Cruiser in the Williams. Popo though hanging it around the outside, doing very, very well. And he's got the inside for turn 3. Brilliant move from Popo. Does manage to make that stick. They're still side by side though as they head up the hill towards turn 4. And there is Light Cruiser on the left.
Oh! Wow.
Beautifully done. And Light
I thought
Cruiser
this was going
stays
to end in
ahead.
tears.
Wow. Fantastic battle between the two of them. Light Cruiser staying ahead for the time being though. 8 laps to go in this Hungarian Grand Prix. We've got a fun finish here.
Yeah, especially it will be a fun finish between Yugos and Astro Boys, I'm very sure. Astro Boys, this is of course his home Grand Prix, and Yugos also has a connection to the track because we've named one corner after him. It's turn 5 Yugos corner because he always spin, or he apparently spun by hitting the curb there. So now it's Yugos corner. Did not spin in this race though, which is why he is able to be in P6 behind Astro Boys.
Yeah, not just yet. He's right on the back, though, of that Mercedes now. Can he get the run out? He's got plenty of battery, that's for sure. And Astro Boys knows exactly what's coming. He's going to go to the inside. He goes with the DRS, though. And once again, Astro Boys covering well to the inside as they head into turn 1. Hugo's trying for the outbreak around the outside. He should have more grip. He should have more power as well with the DRS, and he does, I think, get the move done. Still side by side though. Astro Boys going in very deep to the corner, too deep to the corner, and Hugo's gets P5. Very nicely done from him. He's got 5.5 seconds now to make up the gap towards the battling cars ahead of him, like Cruiser and Popo.
I'll check the penalty situation between them. So you guys sitting on and 2 warnings, and Popo Gamer is sitting on just 2 warnings. Pretty clean race. Light Cruiser on 1 penalty, so technically Popo is ahead of Light Cruiser and would get a podium. I don't even know if he already got a podium in SLR. I think it was close, but I don't know if he has got one. I will check.
I'm not exactly sure either. Are you talking about Popo?
I'm talking about Popo, and he got a podium in
France,
he got 2
right?
points. Yeah, 2nd in France and 3rd in Monaco. He's also 4th in the standings. Quite sad. I mean, Speedy is clearly leading the standings, and then it's Pretorius ahead of Bailey Thompson. Then there's a slightly bigger gap. It's like 30 points or something. And we get Popo Gamer and Light Cruiser almost even points. And they are fighting it out in this race as well. The only one out of the top 3 who is not quite there is Pretorius, by the looks of it, down at P7.
Yep, Icewind making his pit stop. He had the 5-second penalty, of course, which he's now served.
And
So
he'll get the fastest lap, I'm sure. Astro with another
Yep.
penalty.
Yep, Astro with 3 more seconds, so he's up to 6 seconds now, and he's certainly not in that fight anymore for P5 with Hugo's. He's dropped off the back of the McLaren. Hugo's, though, catching this battle for 3rd, so we could see some fireworks before the end of the race. Hugo's with very good pace on those medium tyres, and the others, I think, going to be slightly worried about him as we come in towards the last, 5 laps of this one in Hungary.
And Bailey Thompson, okay, never mind. In heli cam, it looked like he was about to do funny things, like overtake Speedy. But indeed, I have been lied to. And there's another yellow, and it is Danico! Giving away the
Danny.
last chance he had to get a podium, potentially. Podium point. I am talking about points in our slash LP is right on his back.
Oh,
and
Danny
MJJ
into
is
the wall! He spun on
Oh,
turn
no!
4! Oh, he's obviously cooked the tyres.
Nightmare for Ferrari.
Yeah, it is. No points today for Ferrari, I'm afraid. Curse crashing
Nightmare
out.
for Red Bull as well. It's not going good for these two teams. And Popo right on the back of Light Cruiser. I imagine he probably checked the penalty situation. If he hasn't, though, it might mean that we'll see some taking. You maybe just want. I mean, maybe Popo is also interested in just showing off by telling us how much he is not reliant on penalties to get his podiums.
Well,
We'll see.
Well, Hugo's is catching at a rate of knots. He's caught a 2.5 seconds this lap. As Hugo's, so he is on a charge in that second McLaren, and he is now only 2.5 seconds behind these guys with 4 laps to go. So plenty of action left, I think, in this one.
But he has got a penalty. Popo doesn't, like Cruiser does.
That is true. So he's going to need
maybe
3 seconds.
P4 still on the cards for Hugos. I guess taking the place of his teammate will be hard, but like
Popo.
Cruiser, maybe.
Down the inside of Light Cruiser into turn 1, left plenty of space on the outside there. Good fair racing between the two of them. Light Cruiser has the inside, Popo has the DRS. Who's going to come out on top here as they head into turn 2? Round the outside goes Popo, and I think he has managed to hold it for the time being. Still side by side, lots of space being given again. Still side by side through turn 3 as well. Hugo's catching all the time as they head up towards turn 4. Popo around the outside this time, and he has done it this time. So,
and now Hugos with another penalty, so now he's in trouble. He needs to. I mean, I think this is probably the deal done then with the second 3 seconds time penalty. He's even clear of Astro. I think he is. Astro just picked up a penalty and he's got the pit penalty. Yeah, Astro is kind of falling apart. He got a lot of warnings since lap 27. 2 penalties since lap 27, so a rip Astro.
Yep,
Is Astro even
right.
clear of Pretorius? Yes, he is.
3 laps to go. Bailey Thompson still out of battery, as he has been for the whole race, behind Speedy. As NJJ moves out of the way of the pair of them. Meanwhile, Hugo's now 1.3 off the back of this battle in front of him between Popo and Light Cruiser. He does have penalties, of course. Hugo's, he's got 6 seconds worth of penalties. Popo doesn't have any. Light Cruiser has 3 seconds. But maybe he can put some pressure on and force some mistakes there between those two. They may not know exactly what the situation is. Icewind is going very quickly. He did pick up the fastest lap of the race, as you predicted. And he's going to be on the back of Push very soon with much better tyres. Does Push have any penalties? That's a good question. I don't know.
I will check. He does 2.
He has 2 penalties, so Icewind I think has 2 as well. Maybe he has 3, I don't remember.
I think it might even be 3, yeah. It is 3, indeed.
3 penalties for Icewind. Bailey on the back of Speedy. Once again, no battery though for the racing point, so he has to wait. He's going to stick behind now, breaks himself a little bit into turn 1 there.
That didn't help. No, I mean, I don't know where he's going into second there. I think he, in second.
Oh, Popo defending from Light Cruiser. Sorry, Light Cruiser trying to go around the outside in turn 1. He's going to try for the switchback here. Does have the DRS. Popo, I think he's going to cover the inside. Oh, there's a little bit tight between them. He's going to have a look, though, into turn 2, and I think he's going to get this move done as well. He runs Popo a little bit wide. Hugo's is right on the back now of this pack. And Light Cruiser does get the position, at least for the time being. Lap and a half to go.
Jugos is right on their backs, but he is in a voice call with Popo, so he is 100% aware of the penalty situation between the two, and I imagine Popo already checked for light cruiser, so he knows this is going to be a podium. If he brings it home, then he go with a penalty that doesn't impact pretty much anything. Maybe his clearly very relevant and not made up fight between OceanChief and him. I don't know.
So I'm just wondering if Bailey, this is the last lap, the start of the last lap. I'm just wondering if Bailey is going to have a go here.
Oh, yeah.
Again, he's got no battery, so I don't think he's going to be able to. He's content to sit behind for the time being. Hugo's, wonder if he's content to sit behind as well.
In before, Bailey gets an off track in this lap.
Yeah, it could certainly happen.
Speedy gets very slidey, and Bailey has a little sniff at the rear wing of Speedy, but not more. Yeah, that was very careful. Yeah, you can. That's what I meant. Like, I mean, you can drive cautious on turn 4, but it costs you some time. It did not cost them much time, but it's like, it's not what drivers want to do. They want to go fast, because it's what they do.
Bailey, though, quite not going quite as fast as Speedy in this race. He's going to win this race if he doesn't manage to, if he manages to get around without getting himself another warning. He's only got a few corners to go.
Ice went with a done pass. We've got yellows, and I do not know who it is. It doesn't seem to be anyone.
Yeah, I don't know either. So Speedy rounds the last corner. He's going to take the checkered flag, but the race winner is going to be this man here, Bailey Thompson. Comes around the last corner.
Done it, and Bailey Thompson wins in Budapest. Great drive from him.
Hugo spins! Oh, Hugo's spinning. He was alongside Popo, and has he thrown away what would have been a good result? He's behind Astro Boys now. Popo finishes third. And Astro Boys is out of fuel. Is that?
Nah.
Astro Boys had a penalty as well. Of course, that 5-second pit stop
to let him through?
penalty.
I don't know.
I think he was out of fuel. I think Astro Boys is out of fuel. I think that's why he slowed down. But Hugo's
slowed down because he thought
down as well. Yeah, I don't know. But in any case, Hugo's does finish fifth. It didn't matter in the end, no. But it would have been a heart-stopping moment for him, I'm sure.
Was a nice shock.
As Slash LP says, this is the worst experience I have had. Yeah, in any race.
Looking at his past races, I think there's some contenders. What?
So Slash, no points. Icewin gets 2 points for his two-stop strategy that went a little bit wrong in that race. But there's your winner, Bailey Thompson, in the Racing Point, getting himself 25 points. It's his, is it third win of the season? Maybe fourth win of the season?
I think his fourth, maybe. How can Milos claim this was his worst experience in the race car, even though he barely was in the race car?
Yeah, this was his worst experience walking back to the pits. Milos, who's out of the race after a couple of laps, unfortunately.
He didn't even get someone to give him a ride on a motorcycle.
That's true.
I mean, this is yeah, and Triton very Triton with the very useful comment, enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough, Kevin. We look like a bunch of you know, Drive to Survive viewers will know.
They will know. So there's your final classification. Popo finishing third, Light Cruiser fourth, Hugo's fifth, and you can see all of the penalties that everybody had, everybody except Bailey and Popo. And that, I think, was at least one clue to why they were so fast here today. So that was a fun one. We've got our driver of the day to give out as well. Who are we going to give our driver of the day to? There was some good battling down the field.
So like, I feel like this has been another one of these races where you have like basically good performances everywhere, but like, I don't know, like no one was class of the field, no single driver, or no one absolutely sliced his way through the field. Normally you always get someone who qualifies out of position or someone who does something very outstanding. Today, everyone just drove a very good race. I don't know. So there's like basically two I have on my list, and that's basically just Bailey for the race win. He had a good one, and at the point where Speedy kind of threw it away by getting the off track or the warning, Bailey just did what needed to be done. He, I don't know if he actually just stuck behind, or if he just kept it behind Speedy because he knew he was gonna win, or if he actually couldn't pass. But like, I mean, he drove a nice and controlled race, and in the end won. And the other one would be Popo. In a very competitive midfield, he managed to be the one at the front. Goss had so much fun, and that he celebrated by doing donuts into a wall on the second to last corner. I don't know. I mean, you guys also had a good drive, but I mean, he started in P4, and Popo started behind him, and I mean, Popo finished well ahead of him, so I think it would be fair to give it either to Popo. No, I can't, Tipsy. I definitely have to ramble on a lot more. Damn it, damn the haters.
Yeah, that was,
you know what I want to get at.
Yeah.
Give your take so Tipsy gets his piece.
So so Bailey or Popo, you said, for your two. Was that
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that sentence. No, I'm not gonna.
Okay.
I will not fall for that trap.
All right. I think my driver.
Popo.
I think my driver of the day. I think I agree with TipsyBob, and with you as well. I think my driver of the day is probably Popo for a very solid performance. Had a really good pace. He took it to Light Cruiser in the first half of the race. He forced the mistakes from Light Cruiser, who got 3 seconds of penalties. And I think probably I would give it to Popo Gamer 4000, who is in the gentleman's lounge at the moment, and I'm going to drag him into the commentator's booth.
I am afraid I cannot stick around for that because I have something to do. I'm sorry.
Oh no, Timo's got something better to do than to talk to Popo.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I've got a train to catch. I've got a train to catch. I'm sorry.
Oh dear, how insulted do you feel, Popo? I would feel very insulted.
Please don't be too mean. I said your name on the driver of the day.
Oh, thank you.
Well,
I mean, you got it in the end as well. So like, congrats.
well,
you.
thanks for joining us, Timo, and yeah, good luck with your train catching.
See you. I think I will do it.
All right, bye. So Popo, fantastic drive, another podium. That's your third podium of the season?
Yeah, third. Yeah, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, talk us through it. It was a fantastic drive.
Yeah. Something that's weird is that like, I mean, how can I say it? Like, at my bad tracks, I just perform so epic. Like France, I was like, oh, I'm gonna struggle to get points, and I get second. And like, for this track, I was like, I had a bigger chance of winning in Germany than getting a podium in this race. Is just so weird, my performance. But yeah, of course I'm happy with it, and I had a very good battle with Light Cruiser. I hope you got it on stream.
Yeah, we did. We saw a lot of it. It was back and forth, and yeah, just the penalty in the end that separated you. But you were really consistent out there. It was really good to see. I mean, is there anything what was your mentality into going into the race? Were you? I mean, obviously you were thinking you were struggling on the track, but were you thinking just to be consistent? What were you thinking?
Yeah, I knew I was a bit consistent. I was just slow, not really struggling. But yeah, my mentality was like, don't cut corners, and it worked.
Yeah, it definitely did. I mean, you were one of only 2 people not to get a penalty in the top 10, which was fantastic. We're going to bring the standings up here as well now, which I'm not able to do without resizing it on stream, which isn't very professional. I apologize, but there we go. So there are the standings. So you're in 4th at the moment. After that result, it was you and Light Cruiser battling, and you're really close in the championship as well. So what are you thinking for the rest of the season? It's Spa next and then Monza. What do you like on those 2?
Yeah, I think Spa is a bit hard for me because I'm still kind of new to no racing line, and it's a long track. You have to be very consistent to put one good lap together, and I hope Monza is a bit better for me. But yeah, if I can keep that P4, I would be very happy. I don't think any of the guys ahead that I can reach. So
Yeah. Well, Speedy, Pretorius, and Bailey all very fast. They've all won races this season. Are you thinking that you can maybe win a race at some point this season? What are your ambitions for this season?
well, I would love to say yes, but I would probably say no. But yeah, I mean, if I can try to improve and get podiums a bit more consistent, I would be so happy with that.
Yeah, well, it's certainly. I mean, just looking at your last few results, Hockenheim wasn't great, but before that,
No.
well, other than Hockenheim, it's what 3 podiums in 4 races, and top 5s for the last 5 races. So, yeah, really consistent performances, and really good to see. Are you driving, by the way, in the tournament a week on Friday?
Yep, I am.
Fantastic.
For
who are you driving for?
DMR. Yeah.
Oh, for DMR, nice. Okay, so we'll see you there. Fantastic drive today. Any shout outs you want to give?
Thank you. But yeah, really, to Bailey for winning, and of course also to Light Cruiser. He really also pushed me to drive faster, so I could get that podium. And also he was 1 point behind me before the race, so I really wanted to beat him.
Yeah. No, it's yeah, fantastic to see that you did, and yeah, it was a good battle between the two of you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, I'm going to put you back in the gentleman's lounge, and
Okay.
we're going to drag in. I think we're going to do a 2-in-1 deal here. I think we're going to drag Bailey in first of all,
He's
and we're also
gone.
going to grab
Hello.
Speedy, and he had gone, but he's actually here,
Unexpected.
which
Did
is
not
where
expect
you
this.
are as well. There you go. We got both of you in. So the two of you are battling for the whole race. Let's start with Bailey.
Wow. Let's put a big air quote around the whole race bit.
Right, okay. Well, maybe you shouldn't get penalties.
So
Maybe I should get a fucking warning for cutting a corner that's not even possible to cut.
so are we to assume that you knew all about Speedy's penalties, Speedy's penalty, Bailey, and you were just sat behind him?
I knew about Speedy's penalty because I checked like a few laps after.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Is Bailey still there? He
Yeah,
cut out
he
there.
keeps DCing.
Ah, okay. So I guess he is still there, but we'll have to figure it out. So Speedy, what were the penalties that you got? Which corner was it that you cut that it's not possible to
So
cut?
I got one for the turn 4, one for the fast right-hander, and then the third one, you know the corner just before the fast right-hander, the little left kink?
Yeah.
Apparently I cut that.
Wow, that's
I
a good
drifted
effort.
through it, and apparently I cut it. I don't know
Wow.
how.
Yeah,
So
I don't think I've ever gotten a warning there. That's pretty impressive.
I was a little annoyed.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean,
Because we could either go battle the rest of the race, I think, but I don't know. Yeah, like, it's probably the right thing to do, but it kind of ruins the race.
yeah,
I couldn't-
it's
like-
unfortunate.
If I'm honest, I couldn't get past you down the straight. I was putting it in overtake and rich to try and get past you.
Were you? It was, on my screen, it looks like you're pulling it in numb.
Well,
No,
I was
you're-
gonna say we were on board with you a little bit, Bailey, and you had no battery for basically the whole race. You were down at like
Yeah.
6% when you were trying to pass Speedy. So maybe that was why. I don't know.
Okay.
Speedy, what wings were you running that?
7-9.
811.
Wow,
Cool, that's probably
7.9. Good grief, that's much
That's
lower than I
pretty
ran. That's
That's why I
interesting.
couldn't get past you down the straight then.
Okay, okay, makes it a bit better. Fair enough.
So yeah.
No,
Anyway,
I was saving all my battery for the straight, so.
yeah. Well, I think most people were, but yeah, I think Bailey was struggling a little bit with battery for most of that race. So I mean, I guess you didn't need to do more than you did, Bailey. Was it like were you tempted to have a go the last few laps, or were you just? I guess you were on 2 warnings for pretty much like the last 10 laps or so.
Yeah, I wanted to, but like I said, I couldn't. I think it was one lap where I was within like 3/10 of them coming down the straight, and I had it in rich and overtake, and I just couldn't get past them.
It was a Hamilton and Monza, was it?
Yeah.
On Leclerc, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like it. But you got the
Well,
win anyway.
GG.
That's your GG. That's your 4th win of the season, Bailey? Which is
I think so.
yeah. So in terms of the championship, I mean it's pretty It's pretty close between you and Pretorius for second. But a big gap to Speedy. He's 43 points
Is it?
ahead. Yeah, 40. Well, he was 43 points ahead. He's
Bailey
now
was right behind me.
35 points ahead. 35, I think.
Yeah, it's not that big.
So, do you reckon you can catch him, Bailey?
You definitely can.
Yes. Yes, I can.
Yes, he can. There
Some
we
horrendous
go.
tracks coming up.
Which,
I love Spa.
And Spa's fine. I'm talking about like Singapore, Russia.
oh, Singapore's
Oh,
coming.
Tire temps for you around Singapore.
Yeah, I may as well just give
Yeah.
up and die.
What tyre temps were supposed to be bad at Hungary? Was it a relief that
but-
you didn't have to use a soft tyre?
You know, well, I was going to do one-shot quality anyway, in dry. I wasn't going to touch the softs at all. So. Yeah, the mediums got up. They got to like 109 degrees, but they've got a bigger window, so they don't overheat.
Yeah, they definitely have.
The most my mediums got to was 103.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's about what my tyre temps tend to be around Hungary on the mediums. The softs are a little bit. You have to be a little bit more gentle with the softs, but the mediums are usually okay. Certainly on the wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see tomorrow, Tara. Don't worry.
Yeah, it'll be fun tomorrow. Looking
Hopefully no
forward to it.
rain.
Yeah,
I
hopefully.
want
hopefully
like an
no
actual
rain.
quality because I've actually practiced a fair bit for quality.
Hopefully,
I
Vance
d-
decides to do the coin flip.
Oh no, don't.
Well,
I mean, qualifying was good. Not
It
because
was
of-
until I binned my last lap.
Yeah, I saw you. I came around turn 1 and I just see Toro Rosso spun.
yeah.
I know I should have went back on track and blocked you. Knew it.
No, you didn't. You should. I think that would have been a good strategy, Buzz.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Well, you got a terrible start anyway, so big oof.
Yeah, I guess it was
Yeah, I
more.
did
I guess
get
it was
that.
more fun to watch qualifying than it would have been if it was just one shot. Everybody doing one shot on the mediums. So so that's good.
Yeah, no, just for the record, tomorrow, even if I'm P15 with medium time, I am not going on the softs. I'm going to start at the back.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't know. We'll it'll be really interesting to see. It's because it's one of those because the two SRL, I mean the SLR field is as well. But the two SRL field is so close that you
Yeah.
can get lots of cars deciding to go on the softs, and then that means that you're
Awesome.
even if you do a good lap on the mediums, you're starting sort of
Well,
P8
last
or
time
9.
round, everyone did it correctly, right? In Germany?
In Germany they did, yeah.
Or was that
So,
SLR? I can't remember.
No, that was 2SRL because I was on pole.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. It'll be a fun one. But for the race today, congratulations, Bailey. Any shout outs you wanna give?
I want to give one.
Who do you want to
I
give a
don't-
shout
I
out to,
don't
Speedy?
know.
Popo Gamer.
Yep, Popo had a fantastic drive. We spoke to him just before, another podium for him. So really good stuff from him. But thanks both of you for joining us. I'm gonna put you back in the gentleman's lounge now.
Yay.
There we go. So we're gonna bring in Mr. Icewind, who
Hi
was
there.
hello Icewind, was the brave guinea pig for the two-stop today.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna do that, but I rear-ended Hugo on lap 3 or 4 or whatever it was. He and Astro Boys were fighting, and he kind of surprised me with braking a bit early, and I had yellow wing damage at that point, and then I
Oh yeah, we saw
just
we
decided
saw that. Yeah.
I'll try something else. And well, on either of my 2 pit stops, they didn't change my wings. So
Oh, that was what
exactly,
happened.
yeah.
I see. So yeah, you had wing damage, but not bad enough to change.
Yes,
so that's
and
why
it
you
was
were-
yellow, so usually if you
Ah.
change it to, repair wing damage, yes, they do that, but
Yeah,
for
they
whatever
decided
reason,
not
they didn't
to.
do it.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. So
Yeah, but, I mean, as I said to everybody already, I didn't practice at all. I basically just showed up for the race. I came home late Friday night,
Mhm.
Away the entire week, so I'll take this. It's some points anyway.
Oh damn! I've just realised as well that this goes back to the pattern where you have an incident on the Saturday and then on the Sunday you're super fast. So I think that's going to happen tomorrow.
We'll see, because I don't know, even without the wing damage, which honestly didn't really feel that bad. It was just really difficult to follow anybody with it, but I don't know. I don't think this is one of my stronger tracks, so we'll see what it does. Even without the wing damage, I maybe would have got a couple of places higher, but not enough to challenge Hugo or Astro Boys, I think.
Yeah, we didn't notice your wing damage at all, because I looked after that incident, because I saw you hit the back of Hugo's, and I looked at your front wing and didn't see that there was anything missing, but there must have been just like a little bit off somewhere.
Yeah, maybe a bit of an end plate or something.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to look at my replay, and it looks like it's, or maybe it's not even yellow, it's like light yellow or something.
Okay, so. Yeah. So maybe just
But
a tiny bit of damage, but a tiny bit of damage is enough.
And it didn't feel too bad, except when I was trying to follow other cars, then it was really difficult. But
okay, yeah.
But yeah, I'll take those points anyway. It's
yeah. Well, you got the fastest lap point as well, so you end up with 3, I think.
Yes, so that's okay to me.
Yeah, good stuff. So what's the plan for the next couple of weeks? You got Spa and then Monza coming
Indeed.
up. How are you feeling about those two?
Spa, I really like driving Spa, but I honestly don't have any idea about my pace in this game there. I've not really driven it at all. Monza, I don't know. In last game I was really bad there. I think it was the very first league race I did into SRL, like after my 15-year break.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I crashed out there, I remember, in Ascari. So I don't know, we'll see.
Okay.
I definitely like Spa, but I think it's about finding a good setup there, because I think we're gonna have to go with a pretty low drag setup there to
yeah, I would have thought so. I mean, generally in F1 2019, it seems like low drag setups are the way to go. Speedy said he was running.
Yeah.
Was it 6-8 wings? He said he was running, or something like that. Maybe 7-9. I don't remember. Yeah, today. So
I was running 7-10.
Yeah, I think most people were running sort of either 10 or 11 on the rear wing, but yeah, Speedy.
Yeah, I
lower.
tested, like before the race, I tested 11, and I didn't really see that much of a difference. If it would have rained, I would have done 11. But yeah.
Yeah, no, fair enough. But yeah, good drive in the end anyway with a yellow front wing. Got yourself some points.
It's alright.
Any shout outs you want to give?
Well, of course, a shout out to Bailey, who won the race.
Yeah.
Great stuff. I think he won it on penalties, right?
Yeah,
he did. Of course,
he was behind Speedy for the whole race, and yeah, he had 3 seconds. Speedy had 3 seconds, so Bailey just chilled behind him.
And of course, shout out to Wimpy, our reliable crew chief,
giving
us information about.
Yeah, he came in to chat to ask how many penalties was it Push had, I think.
Yeah, because I was interested at if I overtake him, is it like worth pushing? But
yeah.
Then,
It only
occurred to me.
It only occurred to me after exactly why he'd asked that, because yeah, he was your crew chief for the whole race. So.
Yeah, exactly, and I was catching him fast on the soft at the end, so.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, he made a mistake I overtook him, and then he made a mistake on the final lap, which pretty much cost him P9, I think. I don't think I would have got 3 seconds on him otherwise.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, great drive, and you'll get some points from this at least, so that's really good.
Yeah.
And all the best for the next couple of races, all the best for tomorrow as well. I will see you then.
Yep, likewise.
Thank
See you on track.
And that was Mr. Icewind, who was joining us after that race. So the results, the championship is on screen. The result today: Bailey winning, then Speedy second, Popo with an excellent drive in the McLaren in P3, and it just leaves it for me then to wrap the stream up. Thank you everyone for watching. Of course, we've got 2SRL as per usual tomorrow. That's also at Hungary tomorrow afternoon, or tomorrow evening, 20 Central European Time, 19 British summertime. So join us for that one, and of course remember the tournament in 2 weeks' time as well, on October the 4th. That's a week on Friday. So join us for that. And news from Wimpy as well. The F2 race from last night, unfortunately, we got copyright struck on EGL by FOM. It happens sometimes because the footage is so similar to real F1 footage, but that video is now available. So if you want to watch the F2 race, you can go and watch it on the EGL channel. So go and do that if you haven't already. And thank you very much for joining us today. We will see you. Well, I'll see you on track tomorrow, and we'll see you next week apart from that. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.